Thank you very much, everybody, for attending today, and welcome to the Spotlight Speaker section of Business Relationships Network's event today. Joanne Brooks is our guest presenter. Joanne is going to be talking about the bold advantage, 3 keys to collaborative success. Now, I've known Joanne, I hate to say this, since 2013. It's been a little while. And that's when we were both part of a group of companies together in which she headed that up. And it was amazing to see her build up the company that she established as part of that group of companies and built it into a multi-million dollar organization with a team of people who were just absolutely brilliant. And they really did what they extremely well. It was fantastic to see the growth and the excitement as it scaled up. She's got over 20 years of experience in commercial banking and those numbers, launched 17 companies, and as we said, launched or scaled the business to $30 million in 2 years, and it was amazing to see. She's the founder of Navigate Biz and has dedicated her career to helping female founders to move from the chaos to clarity. And her signature program, Transformation, Navigate Circle, and Evaluating Consulting, is how she helps breathe life into businesses. She's a powerful speaker and just a great person and a great lover of dogs. I remember her dogs. So
Thank you, Ross. And yes, Ross and I have known each other for a long time, and it was wonderful to have him in that group of company. I'm going to share a little bit of the strategy that we used in that business to grow it to 30 million in 24 months. It was one heck of a ride. There was some amazing lessons to be learnt in that. So bear with me while I share the screen, and I'd love for somebody to confirm that they can see the screen all well and good.
I can see it.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. I call it the bold advantage, keys to collaborative success, because what I know is it's not just for big business. It's how small businesses can stay strong, can scale smart, and survive those many curveballs that come our way. And it doesn't really matter whether you're a sole trader, micro business. The right collaborations can absolutely shift from you just surviving to building momentum. This is not about just boardrooms. This is about how clients you refer, how you receive clients. It's every element of business, and collaboration for me has been my biggest success metric. So my question to you would be, what would shift in your business if you stopped building solo and started collaborating with the right people at the right time for the right reason? Now, there's a bunch of people in this room that I've collaborated with. I collaborate with Sigrid. You could say that Ross and I collaborated. Anthony and I have done a couple of things. So it's something that I talk about and do a lot. But maybe if I share with you a little bit about what Ross alluded to. Collaboration has been my biggest success metric. Yes. So I was the head of a business that scaled to 30 million in 24 months. We went from 5 staff to 110. And from the outside, it was a massive success story. How did I do that? One of the key elements that I implemented was that we were considered the little orange speedboat, hence the graphics, and the organizations I approached to collaborate with were like the great big cruise liners. So we were the little orange speedboat who could pivot and move and shift quickly. I had the audacity, or whatever you want, whatever word you want to put to it. I knocked on the doors of many of my largest competitors. We were in the registered training organization space, in the area that I was building within this large company. And I decided that I knew what their pain point was. They had access to government funding that I didn't have. I was registered as a training organization, but I wanted some of what they had. So I decided I would knock on their doors. But I knew I couldn't do it just by knocking on their door. I had to have a lot of things in place. And that's what I'm going to share with you today, so that you can get a sense of how could you, and it's not suggesting you go and knock on large corporate doors and collaborate. If you choose to, great, good on you. But this is a process or a system that I've used in even in Navigate in much smaller organizations than some of my clients. So I'm going to share with you my 3 keys to collaborative success and being mindful of time. So I know Ross will keep me aligned to that time. Let's jump into it. So how to build trust in real-world collaborations. 6 human-centered habits that strengthen partnerships. This is streamlined from a larger masterclass, but I wanted to give you the key points. How do you foster effective collaboration? Be clear about who can do what. Be honest. Share the back end. And I'm going to give you a little bit of context between that. Talk more and make it mutual. So what do I mean by capacity? Do you have the capacity in your business to collaborate with somebody? These people that I collaborated with, I said to them, I'm going to collaborate with you until such time as I get my own funding, and then I'm out of here. I was really clear. I didn't say to them, this is long term, this is forever. And what I did was I let them see my back end in my platform. So you might consider, well, we're going to be doing some work together. We're going to be finding clients. Do I need to show them or give them access to any platforms or systems that I use to give them confidence about who I am and what I'm going to deliver? Talk more. Don't assume anything. I will talk in the next slide about putting it in writing, but voice expectations, confirm assumptions and to prevent issues, because I can guarantee you, you might have the best butterflies in the tummy to go, this just feels awesome. Let's do it. Let's collaborate. Let's make this thing work for us all. But I guarantee you, the proverbial will hit the fan. And you need to have systems in place and boundaries in place to make sure that you can address these. And you need to make it mutual and need co-create, share credit to foster the partnership. So who's going to do what? How's it going to happen? Those are the key elements to building trust. And what does the workflow look like? You need to write it down. I speak to many, many people in business, and I work with women in business. Oh, yeah, I'm working with XYZ business. Do you have it in writing? Do you have a contract? No. Please do. Please absolutely put it in writing. Write down what you agree, who's going to do what, even to the point of writing a position description for each of you, if you want to go to that level. Joanne's going to do this. Ross is going to do that. You can hold each other accountable to it. Use simple tools to make it, to streamline it. Make sure there's a win-win for everybody. And don't say, if you've got a team of people, you've got a wonderful circle of people in this networking group, go find people to talk to and don't say yes alone. Share the idea. I'm thinking about collaborating with this business for this reason. This is what it's going to look like. This is who's going to do what. This is the financial benefit to all of us. Does it sound like a good idea? Bounce ideas off people. And for whatever you do, please use systems. Don't rely on people. And the first thing is, get curious first. Understand the collaborator's needs before proposing solutions. Now, I knew as an example, for the larger organizations that I was going to be working with, that they had a pain point in the funding they had for their business. If they didn't use it all, they would lose it. If they used too much of it, they would lose it. This is government funding. So I said to them, I know you don't use all of your funding, so how about I take that bit? And that bit was not putting them at great risk, but it was giving them an opportunity to earn income that they didn't have before, and it would solve that gap for them where they potentially would lose the income or the funding. What does collaboration look like for a small business? It might be co-creating a lead magnet, delivering a masterclass together, referring clients to one another, swapping services, co-hosting a pop-up, featuring in each other's newsletters. Something that I'm doing at the moment, LinkedIn, is I'm putting it to market to say, who would like to co-create a series of articles with me? 4 articles, 1 a month, 1 a week, and then we land with an event. And we deliver what on 4 articles, and we deliver the how in the event, with the intention that we will share income and we will secure leads and we will cross-refer them to one another. A different way to do something different on LinkedIn to the normal. So think a little bit outside the square. What can you do to build a collaboration, a partnership, a joint venture? This is not about merging 2 businesses. This is another example that comes to mind. There might be a tender out there or corporate opportunity out there, and you tick most of the boxes, but you don't tick just a couple of them. Well, why don't you go find somebody who can tick those 2, pull your resources together and jointly submit your tender application or approach that corporate. There's lots of ways that you can partner, that you can share ideas, that you can make it a win-win for everybody. Now, I had a funny feeling that this graphic was not going to work. So win-win or walk away. Please do not do it just because you want to be nice. There's a lot of effort in partnering and collaborating with people to understand what you bring. When I approach this large corporate, and again, that's what I'm referring to, but you know, what I knew was I was an RTO and I knew their systems. I had the same systems. And when they asked me, so how are you going to do this, Joanne? Oh, well, here's the workflow for that. Do you have a policy for that? Yes, I do. So I did the research. I put everything together before I tapped on their door. Now, these partnerships might come through as a result of getting out in the breakout room in this networking group, and you go, actually, you and I need to do you've got some great skills that align with mine. Let's do something together. And I know Sigrid and I had that conversation, and I know Anthony and I have had that type of conversation. But you have to agree, if you're going to go down this path, agree on outcomes. Clarify what does it look like when we get there? What are the expected results? What are the benefits? And think about what might it look like if things go wrong, right? Because as I said, they absolutely will. Establish touch points. So this I mean by keeping the communication lines open. When I first started doing my partnership with these organizations, I said to them, you have full access to my platforms. I'll give you a login. But I said it'd only be for a short period of time. So in 2 months, I'm going to turn it off, and then I will send you a report and we will have a weekly meeting. Does that work for you? So I opened the doors and let them see what my platforms look like so they could see that what I promised I was going to do, I did. And then I turned it off. But set up timeframes to communicate. Like we've all got this amazing technology today. We've got Telegram, we've got WhatsApp, we've got Zoom, we've got all these opportunities to connect with one another. And don't get complacent. Oh, it's working really great. I don't need to touch base. Please do, because you don't know what the other person's experiencing, and of course track your metrics. So the final piece, which is the last slide, you'd be very pleased to know, Ross, you don't need a contract to start, but you do need a conversation. So think about what are you both going to get out of it? What if lives get busy? How do we pause it? How do we get out of it? How will we know if it's worked? And the best partnerships feel like a flow, and they're always backed by clarity. Hopefully those few pointers will help you to approach collaboration, partnering with somebody to have a bigger impact with your clients, apply for tenders, go for the bigger stuff, and to help build and grow your business. And that's me. Happy for questions.
Thank you very much, Joanne. I really appreciate you taking the time today to deliver the presentation, and there were some really great tips. I've taken some notes down as well.